Hello everyone, my name is Charlie Cooper. Today's date is 12/18/22, and we are back. I know it's been a few months, but we are back with an SDI review video. Today is going to mark the end of semester 2 for me. I know it's crazy. It's already the end of semester 2, moving into the the second half of this degree. But without further ado, today's video is going to be solely about semester 2. So it's going to be semester 2 review and reflection. I'm going to try to leave some of the basic SDI stuff, basic SDI questions for the first video that I made. If you guys have any, basic general admission questions, anything like that about how the school works, stuff like that, I would highly suggest you check that video out. I will link it down in the description below. If you want to know about SDI, I'd highly recommend you watch that video after this one or before. It really doesn't matter. But this is going to be a semester 2 review and reflection. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So this semester has been crazy, to say the least. Not so much with school, but with personal life in general. It's been some crazy things have happened. And by the way, I want to preface this video by saying this isn't just a video about SDI. This also is a video to kind of show you guys where I am in life from the time that I started this school to the time that I graduate. So that basically sums that about up. So we're going to be talking about some personal life changes, personal goals, personal things like that. And I'm going to leave that for the second part of the video. But first off, let's go ahead and talk about semester 2. So semester 2 has went by insanely fast. It's crazy how I'm already, we're moving into the holidays. Merry Christmas, by the way, for anybody watching during the holidays. And let me know if you guys like the vertical video. I was going to do horizontal because I told you guys in the last review that I'm sorry I forgot about doing vertical or horizontal, but I kind of like the vertical. So just let me know what you guys like. If you want the horizontal videos like every normal human being that does YouTube, let me know and then I'll change it. But I kind of like this. It's kind of like talking to someone person to person. So just let me know. But anyway, so for semester 2, I have had 4 classes. That's it. 4 classes. It's pretty crazy, right? Actually 5 classes, I'm sorry. So, again, like in the last video, I did module or section by section. So I guess before we can start, I have to at least explain this. So how semesters work at SDI, they're broken into 16-week semesters, but then they're broken down even more into 8-week courses. So every 8 weeks, you have new courses. So for the first 8 weeks of the semester 2, I had machining and manufacturing of firearms, and sights, optics, and accuracy. So then I'm going to tell you the other courses that I had, and then we're going to go back to the first 8 weeks and kind of talk about what those classes entail. So those were the first 8 weeks, and the 8 weeks that I just got over was English 101. Yes, actually, general education, English 101. The shooting sports management course, and the Kydex lab, which was just a 4-week course. So that's 5 classes in total for this second semester. So let's go ahead and talk about the first 2 courses. So machining and manufacturing of firearms. That's a kind of easy one to explain. Shouldn't take me but just a couple minutes. So machining and manufacturing of firearms basically talks about the machines used to manufacture firearms. You get to talk about drill presses, which I've got a really small personal drill press right here. Nothing crazy industrial, just something you could buy at Harbor Freight. This is actually a really old one, so it still works though. But talks about drill presses, metal lathes, talks about a lot about metallurgy. You get to learn about kind of the metals that are used in different barrels, the different barrels, like I said, metals that are used. You get to learn basically how to set up a metal lathe, some safety stuff. It's kind of like a safety course as well, because you get to learn a lot about the safety of like a machine shop, stuff like that. So if you've ever took a machining class, this is kind of similar to that, but it just adds firearms in the mix. So again, that one's really not too complicated to explain. The instructor wasn't too hard on grades. I made an A in that class, so not too hard. Like I said, very easy course. It was just a lot of basically reading manuals, explaining how stuff work. works, like with, drill presses. We'd have to look up like a manual of a drill press and then explain the setup, stuff like that. Also talk about like carbon steel, different barrels for firearms, and what different strengths of metal and different types of metal do this and that. So that's that course. And for the sights, optics, and accuracy course, I'm actually going to bring some stuff out to show you. So this is one of those courses that were kind of like hands-on. This is one of the books that it gives you, or that they give you. This is not the actual sights, optics, and accuracy book. This is just for the lab for the course. But they give you an ebook, which you download online, sights, optics, and accuracy. So mainly, this is kind of more of like how I talked about basic ballistics, was kind of like a history course. You get to learn a lot about the history of sights, optics, and accuracy. Learn about red dot sights, apertures. You learn about iron sights. Learn about the first sights that were ever invented. You learn about co-witnesses and iron, crosshairs and MOAs and minute of angle, stuff like that. You get to learn a lot about that. And then I guess for the latter part of that, you get to do a practical application, like a lab class. So as mentioned before in the semester 1 review, they sent me a scope. So this is a West Hunter optic. I don't have this on any firearm that I have. This was just kind of the one that they sent me. And basically you use this with this, and forgive me if I don't explain this well. It's just kind of easier to explain it whenever I when I actually do it. But what we're going to be doing, or what we have already done, I should say, is ring lapping. So ring lapping, basically, the best way to explain it, and I'm sorry if I butchered the definition of this, you can just look it up on Google or something like that, but basically the definition of this, whenever you get these things right here, which are your scope rings or mount rings that you mount your scope to, usually from the factory, you'll have this finish on there, and it will have like burrs or whatever. And basically with this ring lapping kit, and forgive me, I'm not going to touch this because I have the lapping compound, but I'm going to explain everything that how to do it. But basically you take your rings and you put them on your firearm, mount it to whatever firearm. You put these in here, and it goes this way, and you're supposed to basically line it up perfectly balanced to make sure that your rings are centered and aligned and whatever. Then once you've got that done, you can take that off and then put this huge ring, or this huge, it looks like a bolt from like a bolt action firearm. But you take this thing called lapping compound. It's kind of like sandpaper almost, but like a compound. And you take a little bit and you put it on the rings of the actual the mounting rings, and then you take this and you just move back and forth. So you're going to actually put it on there like the scope. So forgive me if this is kind of a weird way of showing you, and I might get this stuff all over me because, like I said, the compound, like I said, gets on you, but it kind of looks something like this. And you just move this back and forth, and basically it deburrs the rings. So in theory, you should get better accuracy out of it. And that is the theory, of course. And like I said, in this lapping lab book, it kind of shows you how to do it. And you actually have to use this. Let me see if I can get a good picture of... Yeah, see, there's where I was talking about how you center it. So this is where you center the... and make sure that you're aligned on the rings. And then once you do that, you're going to actually lap. And there's that bolt that I was talking about right here. And that grit, that compound, basically allows you to deburr the rings if they are burred. And this is not a ring that I have deburred. That one's actually on a firearm already. That's why it doesn't look like the picture. But after you deburr the rings, when you lap the rings, this is what they should look like. Finish completely gone, so it's smooth, and it's not causing any kind of accuracy issues. So again, this whole process is supposed to help with accuracy. And again, in this book, or in this part, it talks about mounting your scope. So we get to learn how to properly mount a scope, make sure that it's balanced, everything like that. And this is kind of what what it's going to look like in the end once you get done and everything. I mounted this on my AR-15. Of course, I didn't use this optic. I did for the actual lab because it's the one they sent me, but then I put my LPVO back on there for that. But again, I'm sorry if I didn't really explain that good enough. That's just kind of how I'm more of a hands-on guy, so I could show you how to do it, but my explaining of how to do it would be a little complicated. But so that was that course. It was a pretty easy course as well. Again, there was a lot of history you get to learn about, the first sights used, and then the evolution of the the scopes, sights, stuff like that. And then of course you get this book, and then the e-file for the actual course material, which is again sights, scopes, and accuracy, or sights, optics, and accuracy would be the proper course title. So after that, we have my 3 remaining courses. So we have what I just done was English 101, the shooting sports management, and the Kydex lab. So English 101, this is kind of really easy to explain. Again, just English. It's really where I'm taking the associate's program. I have more courses than the certificate, and where I'm also in the associate's program, I have general education courses that I must take. So your math, science, English, all that stuff. So this was one of those. Basically, in this course, you just learn how to write a college paper. You learn how to write collegiately, English composition. And then you learn how to, basically how this course is set up. You work on a course project or a course paper, which my paper was about the National Firearms Act and why I think it should be abolished, which that's another video for another day. That's a crazy topic to get into. Won't get into that today. But basically you work week to week, so you build upon your paper. So you're not going to do the whole thing in 1 week. So you have 8 weeks in the course, but each week you're working more and more on the paper. You learn about brainstorming, outlining, just some quick highlights of the course. You get to learn about citing sources. You get to learn about formatting, collegiate writing. Basically, that's all it is. And then you turn in your final course project, and then that's it. I mean, it's a pretty simple course. I'm not really a general education guy, but I did very well in the course. It was harder than the firearms courses, not going to lie. I mean, but the firearms courses is what I love. So, but I still have to go through the general education to get the associate's program. So I still have to do it. So, but it was fun. It was challenging, but it's needed. To be a gunsmith, you don't need English, but just I think every person needs to at least have some basic level of English composition. So that's just where that course comes in, and it does tie into firearms. Like I said, you have to write a course project paper or a collegiate paper on something to do with firearms. I chose an argumentative paper because, well, I just feel like it's kind of needed. An exclamatory, like a just a basic like how-to video or a how-to paper, like how to field strip an AR-15. I don't feel like that's really important to an English paper. To firearms courses, absolutely. But, usually in colleges and English papers, they want you to write more of an argumentative paper. So that's why I chose to do the National Firearms Act and why I think it should be abolished. And then if you guys want to know why, if you guys want to know my ideas and my thoughts and my evidence supporting that, I will make a whole video completely dedicated to the National Firearms Act. If you want to know, let me know down in the comments if you want to know, and I will definitely make that video. The next course was shooting sports management. This is very, very imperative to anyone wanting to start a firearms business. Shooting sports management in and of itself is a business course, directly correlated to the firearms industry. That's why they call it shooting sports management, not just business. And also, it's kind of cool that next week I'll be taking a business course. So I get, firearms business course and then regular business course. So don't mistake this for a regular business course. It is a business course, but directly correlated to the firearms industry. So you get to learn about, oh man, there's a lot of stuff in here. So sit back, get a snack, and relax. This is a really cool course. I really enjoyed this. So first off, you start this thing called a portfolio project or a portfolio, which you basically talk about how you're going to manage a firearms business, whether it's hypothetical or a real firearms business. Because keep in mind, people going to this school could already be firearms business owners. So, it's hypothetical or real. In my case, it would be hypothetical right now. So you get to learn how to manage a firearms business. You get to learn about marketing. You get to learn about the firearms customer, what it means to be a firearms customer, how to retain your customers, how to manage a firearms business, whether that's ATF laws, gun laws like background check, 4473s, which is the paperwork that you fill out every time you buy a firearm. You get to learn, and I'm probably forgetting a lot of things, so if you have any questions on this course, because there's a lot of information in this course, don't mistake it for just being an easy breezy course. It's actually a pretty challenging course, but it was really fun. There was a lot of great information, great things that I learned in this course. It's going to take me further out into the future with my degree, and this is why I love this school. And I'm going to talk about more of that later in the opinionated part of the video, like we usually do. But again, you learn basically just how, in retrospect, you learn how to manage a firearms business. You kind of have like a end of course like project paper as well. You get to basically do a portfolio of different topics, the laws of firearms businesses, firearms regulations and laws, federal firearms license, what that means, how to trade, the laws regarding trading firearms, importing firearms, selling firearms, appraising firearms. I mean, you learn all kinds of stuff. All kinds of great things for anyone wanting to work or manage or start a firearms business. So if you want to start a firearms business, I highly recommend you going to SDI, because that course was amazing. That course alone was just highly important to any person, again, wanting to start a firearms business. So I've retained a lot of knowledge about that course, and I'm really confident now that I know a lot about how to manage a firearms business. So that was that course. And then the last 4 weeks of this semester, we got the fun course, the course that everybody talks about, the Kydex lab. You get to build a holster. Yes, you get to build a holster. This was pretty simple course. Again, just 4 weeks, went by really fast. Really quick, you get to learn like the history of holsters, holster materials, why holsters exist, in the waistband, out of waistband, retention levels, military police holsters, modern civilian holsters. You get to learn about all kinds of holsters. I mean, literally every holster known to man, you learn about. Basically, like I said, just the history of holsters. And then you get to do the practical application, which is really cool. Bear with me here. I've got a lot of stuff to show you. I should have done an unboxing. I keep forgetting to do that. So whenever they send me what I call care packages, which is just the materials that you'll use to do the hands-on part of the school, I always forget to do an unboxing, and then I always end up showing you what I've already done. So I'm going to try to make unboxing videos for the rest of the 2 semesters and the rest of the degree. But first off, they send you a couple things. Let me first show you this. So you get 2 sheets of Kydex. I've already used one because I'm going to show you the holster that I built. But you get 2 sheets of Kydex. You get some like holster fasteners. You get some like belt loop stuff to hold your holster down. You get this book here called the Kydex Lab, which basically is a how to make a holster. Just kind of showing you real quick. Just kind of how to. And then you get to make a Kydex jig. So before you actually build the holster, you have to make a jig to mold the holster. And so I went out to Home Depot, and here's what we have here. This is a Kydex jig. This is what you're going to be using to like mold your Kydex. So once you take your Kydex basically out of the oven, you will take the firearm and then you'll put it on the Kydex. You'll fold it into each other, either a taco or pancake style, and you'll press it down and clamp it down. It's going to mold it into each other. So that's really cool. They send you the foam. They send you the Kydex. They don't send you any of this wood or any of that stuff like that. You have to get that yourself. All I used was 3/4 inch plywood, door hinges. I think this was 1-inch drywall screws, 1-inch bolts and nuts with lock washers, and then a 2x4 here, and then some wood glue and spray glue, and then this is the Kydex foam that kind of helps mold the Kydex together. So this is what you'll be making the holster with, and I'll set that over here. But then you also get a couple other things. You get this, which is a heat gun. Basically, it's got different attachments. 12.5 amp motor, 1500 watt output, 2 heat settings, 572 degrees and 1000 degrees Fahrenheit. Dual heat gun, so it's pretty cool. Keep in mind, you can use this, I guess, to heat your Kydex, but a lot of people, and it even says in the lab book to put it in the oven, and that's like your actual conventional like cooking oven, and that's what I did. And they sent you a rotary toolkit. Now, I don't have this with me because it's actually in my workshop that I actually used to build the holster. Because actually, quick little note here, I just got done with the holster today. So I literally, this is my last assignment for this semester. So I just finished the semester today. So that's why I was really excited to give you guys another review. But they send you this rotary toolkit, and basically it's just got a lot of attachments here. Flex shaft, 2 felt polishing wheels, high-speed cutters, grinding stone, sanding discs, dressing stone, cutoff wheels, sander bands, drum sander, drill bits, collets, bit changing spander ram. I mean, you get all kinds of stuff. But again, I don't have this with me, but they do send you this. It's pretty cool. And then they send you a heat gun, or not a heat gun, but a digital thermometer, which, oh, there it is. You get a digital thermometer here to, I guess, show the temperature of your Kydex, because it has to be within a certain degree of Fahrenheit before you can take it out of the oven. If you take it out too quick, it's not going to be as soft to actually mold. Or if you take it out too long, if you keep it in there too long, it could actually completely melt and ruin your Kydex. But they just give you like a simple digital thermometer here. I imagine you could check your temperature with this. But other than that, that's about it that they send you. And then here we go. We're going to move on. Now, don't judge me for the way it looks. We're going for practicality here. So this isn't going to look like your fancy, schmancy T-Rex arms holster. This isn't going to look like your fancy Safariland, your Secret Squirrels. This isn't going to look like your Black Hawk holsters. This is a DIY, first time ever making a holster. So here it is. And again, we're going to clear this firearm. Completely clear. This is a Glock 1911 Gen 5 that I used to mold this holster. This is my holster that I made. Again, not the prettiest thing in the world, but does it work? Yes, it does. It actually works as a holster. Retention, not going to fall out. Retention works. So, in practicality, it works, and that's all you need. But as far as aesthetics, I think I could do better. But hey, first time doing it. I think actually in practicality, making sure that the holster functions as it's supposed to, I think that trumps aesthetic. So making sure that it works properly is honestly more important than making sure it looks all nice and neat. Now, I want to mention a couple things before I, talk about the opinionated part of this video and then kind of close out the video. The molding process, if you're wondering why it looks so weird right here and not like the actual slide, there's this thing and it actually talks about in the lab book called blocking. And you need this to build up the firearm in areas. So like right in here, you actually, what I used, and I'll actually just show you, it's easier to kind of show you. You build up the areas with popsicle sticks or wood dowels right here. And what you do is, it's basically supposed to look like this in the end when you're done, before you actually put the Kydex around it and mold it. And I could not find popsicle sticks that were the same width and diameter and everything of this. I had really, really thin ones. And so I guess I didn't think about, but whenever I molded it to that, you can see the popsicle stick. So does it look aesthetically pleasing? No. But does it work? Yes, it does. You've got your belt loop here. You've got your retention device here. And like I said, I mean, this puppy ain't coming out. I mean, it ain't coming out unless you pull on it. So, I mean, it works, and it's awesome. I think, again, you know, if I would have made 10 of these, I could have probably perfected the design, the way it looks. I could have made it look a little bit nicer. But this is my first time ever in my whole entire life making a holster. So, hey, you know, you got to give credit where credit's due, you know what I mean? So, again, the rotary tools, like for cutting the Kydex, sanding it down, polishing it, which is what I did. And then the, you know, the heat gun was for touching up, you know, I guess you could heat the whole Kydex up with that, but again, I would just put it in the oven as it's just more practical. The thermometer is to tell you what temperature your Kydex is at, and then obviously the Kydex press that I showed you, you press down the hot Kydex, which I don't know if there's a picture in here. There might be a picture in here that I could show you of actually pressing down on that. Let's see if there is. Yes, so this is kind of what you're going to see here, what it's usually going to look like. So that's about that. But yeah, this is my holster that I made for the Kydex lab. Will I be carrying this around? Why not? I mean, I made it. So it's pretty cool, like I said. And they send you everything, like as far as the rivets, the retention, the belt loop here, holder. They send you everything. So it's pretty cool. And that's it. That's semester 2, guys. Like I said, went by really fast. There wasn't like too much hands-on stuff other than the ring lapping lab and the Kydex lab that I made the holster with. That was about it. Overall, I would have to rate this semester 1 out of 10, being 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'd have to rate this a 9. I think this semester was really cool. And then I really don't have any opinions. I think the instructors were pretty fair. Let's see. Wasn't really that hard. I think the hardest part was finding the time to do all this hands-on stuff, which is why I think if I would have had more time, I could have perfected the way it looks. Because, and here's where I'm going to get into the actual personal, the personal life part of the video. I got married. So September 17th, I married the love of my life. And before I made the video, during the semester 1 video, we were still engaged, planning the wedding and everything. So I got married, got hitched. That was a huge part of my life. And then some crazy things have happened in my life. A lot of job changes. I'm actually working at a gun shop now. So I'm doing something that I really like. I'm working now. My goal is still to own my own business. And that's something that's kind of halted me up, and I'll explain why in just a second. So that's something that's kind of been on the back burner for a minute. I'm trying to figure out some zoning stuff, and basically just the funding, because I mean it costs a lot to start up a business. So that's where I'm at with that. And also, I kind of wanted to get my feet wet with the firearms industry. I kind of want to work for a firearms business before I start my own, just so I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm enjoying life there. Let's see here. Some other crazy life changes. Like I said, there's been some not so great things happen in my life. Don't really want to get into it, mainly because this is supposed to be an upbeat, positive kind of video talking about my review. This really isn't a, hey, you know, let's talk about my life video. This is a semester review video. But some not so great things have happened, and just in life in general, this past 3 months has been pretty challenging personally. But school-wise, it's kept me busy. It's definitely kept my mind off the bad things that have happened in my life. But I would say the main thing that I could really say personally in my life that's a good thing is marrying the love of my life. And we're having a great time. We're enjoying life together. And I look forward to many years in the future of being married. So, yep, that's really about it, guys. I mean, I really don't have anything else for you. If you have any questions about the school, please comment down below and let me know. Like I said, I kind of wanted to keep the basic fundamentals of the school out of this video, because I've already explained that in semester 1. And I might just make a whole video dedicated to just kind of the admissions part, how to get into the school, who to contact, basically what you're going to be expecting as far as like assignments, due dates, kind of how the school goes, assignments, stuff like that. I might make a video in the future. And let me know if you want a playlist or anything like a playlist dedicated to those kind of videos. I know my most recent video was my review of my new Sig Sauer P365X macro. If you haven't checked that video, I'll also link it down in the description below, or you can just scroll my channel and see the review of that firearm that I bought. But that's really about it. I get a week off. We're going into the holiday period, so Christmas is in 1 week from today. And I am really excited about the holidays. It's really cold here in East Tennessee, so I'm looking forward to a white Christmas. Hopefully, be praying for that. But yeah, man, that's really about it. I'm trying to think of anything that I could give you guys tips, tricks. That's really about it. I mean, I don't really know what else to explain here. Like I said, all the general admissions stuff, that'll be in the first review of SDI. And any kind of other questions you guys have, just leave it down below in the comments. And for the future of this channel, this is pretty important. So anybody tuning in, subscribers, people that aren't subscribed, anybody tuning in this video in general, this YouTube is not going anywhere. This is basically going to be the birth of my GunTuber channel. So I'm going to be doing a lot of firearms reviews. I'm going to be doing a lot of history of firearms, more SDI videos. So if you guys are interested in any of that, please click the subscribe button. Get subscribed. Also turn on notifications so you guys won't miss a video. I plan on making a lot more videos. So this isn't just a one and done kind of channel. I'm trying to branch this out. So tell a friend about me, and share this video around, and hopefully people will get interested in SDI, because this school is really awesome. I've learned a lot of things, and I got to give the admissions props. I got to give the faculty props. You guys have really done an awesome job with this school, and I'm really enjoying it. So here's to the first 2 semesters, and here's to 2 more semesters. So in August of 2023, I'm projected to graduate. Still making really good grades, still at that almost perfect 4.0 average, and I am really, really proud of myself. We're in honors right now. We're on the dean's list. So, and that's nothing to brag, it's not about, bragging rights or anything. I'm really proud of myself in general for putting myself out there, furthering my education. And if you guys are wanting to do that, I'll put a link in the description to sdi.edu, so you can click that link to learn more about firearms if you want to go to this school and learn about firearms. So that's really about it, guys. So if you're tuning this video before Christmas, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. If you're tuning this video after Christmas, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And look to more future videos on this channel in the near future. So please subscribe, turn on notifications, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.